Imagine waking up to a world where the sound of explosions is replaced by the hum of peaceful conversations. Hard to picture, right? Yet, amidst the chaos and rubble, a powerful voice emerges, calling for an end to the relentless conflict. Hamas' plea for peace might seem like an unexpected twist in a narrative soaked in decades of tension and despair, but is this a genuine turning point or just another chapter in a seemingly endless saga? The headlines are buzzing, debates are raging, and the air is thick with questions. Can a movement like Hamas, often associated with unyielding resistance, truly pivot towards diplomacy? Or is this merely a tactical maneuver in a high-stakes game of political chess? Let's be real. In the world of geopolitics, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Just when you think you've got it figured out, another layer of complexity smacks you in the face. Kind of like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube in the dark. Frustrating, intriguing, and oddly captivating. What's undeniable, though, is the urgency of the situation. Lives are at stake. Families are torn apart. Children grow up under a sky painted with smoke instead of stars. And yet, there's a flicker of hope, a chance, however slim, to rewrite the narrative. But before we dive into what this call for an end to war truly means, let's pause for a moment. What's going through your mind right now? Skepticism? Hope? Or maybe a mix of both? Hold on to that thought, because we're about to explore the twists and turns of this unfolding story. Now, picture this. A leader stepping onto a global stage, not with weapons or threats, but with a call for dialogue. The world holds its breath. It's like watching an underdog sports team attempt an impossible comeback. You want to believe, but the odds? Let's just say they're not exactly in their favor. Yet, history has shown us that even the most entrenched conflicts can find pathways to resolution. Remember the Cold War? If two nuclear-armed superpowers could step back from the brink, who's to say that peace in the Middle East is beyond reach? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For every optimistic headline, there are countless skeptics pointing to the obstacles. Deep-seated mistrust, political divisions, and the scars of past betrayals. It's easy to get cynical. After all, how many times have we heard promises of peace only to see them crumble like sand castles under a rising tide? Still, here's a question for you. If there's even a sliver of a chance to save lives, to end suffering, isn't it worth exploring? As the call for peace echoes, the reactions from around the world are as varied as you might expect. Some welcome it with cautious optimism, while others dismiss it as mere rhetoric. And then there are those who ask the hard questions. What's the catch? What does Hamas stand to gain? These are not easy questions, but they're essential ones. Because understanding motives isn't just about pointing fingers. It's about charting a path forward that acknowledges both hope and reality. So, where does this leave us? At a crossroads, undoubtedly. A moment brimming with possibilities and pitfalls. And here's where things get interesting. The success or failure of this call for peace doesn't rest solely on one group or one nation. It's a collective effort, a delicate dance where every step matters. Governments, international organizations, and yes, even individuals like you and me play a role. Think about that for a second. How often do we, as ordinary people, realize the power of our voices in shaping global narratives? Maybe it's time we did. As this story unfolds, the questions keep piling up. Will this be a moment that changes the trajectory of the conflict, or will it fade into the annals of missed opportunities? Can trust be rebuilt, or are the wounds too deep? And most importantly, how do we, as a global community, ensure that the call for peace isn't drowned out by the echoes of war? The answers aren't easy, and the road ahead is anything but smooth. But one thing's for sure, the stakes have never been higher. And just like a cliffhanger in your favorite thriller, this story leaves us on edge, waiting to see what comes next. Will it be a breakthrough or a breakdown? The clock is ticking and the world is watching.